Hi everyone, it's me Cheryl. I hope you're all alright. I know it's been a while, quite a while in fact, since I last did a video. I actually thought I was going to do one in March. That's it. I was going to say May, that took a long time. I actually thought I was going to do one in March and then something happened. No, nothing really happened, but it was more likely that I was halfway through a project and I wanted to finish it to show you, rather than do two separate videos. That's unwise sometimes, isn't it? Anyway, an update from last time. There's only a couple of things to update from last time, really. And the first being the squares, you know, the Stitchology series I'm showing you. I've been doing on the all-in-one loom. I'm having to rethink that. Well, in fact, I have rethought it, and look at that. I'm totally unimpressed with this. It's supposed to be the candy cane stitch, and it's just dire. I think what the issue is, I really struggled with it. It's not the pattern. The pattern is fine. Doing the pattern would have been fine, except I think the acrylic yarn is too rigid, and quite often during it was knit two togethers and slip knits. I just felt the pegs were threatening to break. I really struggled with that bit. The knits and the pearls were fine, it was just those two stitches in particular, and of course with, I don't even know if you can actually see it, the candy cane stitches where the open work is. I've stretched it, I've pulled it, it's not very good. So that's what I'm going to have to rethink. I think what I'll do is look at the rest of the squares, and if all they are is a combination of knits and pearls, no problem. If it involves anything else like slip knit or knit two together, then we're going to have a problem, and I will have to think of something else to use if I do that square at all. So I'm not sure, or maybe I'll just scrap that idea and do something else entirely with all these acrylics, which I'm trying to just reduce down a bit. Yeah, so that was a bit of a disappointment. It doesn't look as good as it does on the monitor, the computer monitor. On the website, I mean, not mine. Okay, so that was that update. I have an update on the Jana shawl, if I'm pronouncing that correctly. I'll bring that over here. I'm almost at the bit where we're going to the centre. Let me just get the needles up my yarn it. There we go. So that's it so far. Can you see that? So I'm not sure how many more rows I've got. How many more repeats, I mean. A repeat is 4 rows. Because in the pattern, the designer said she did 60 before she started the centre panel. And it's not a huge centre panel, although it's like 4 rows and a repeat that twice altogether it's 12 rows. Gosh, I can't even think. They're short rows, so you basically do 2 long rows in every 4. So basically 2, 4, 6, so it's only 6 long rows and the rest are short rows, so it should be fine. And then you start on the decrease, which is just the opposite of that. Although I'm not aware of what stitch it is to decrease yet. Is it knit two together or slip knit? I'll find out when I get there, it'll be fine. I'm not worried about that, it was just the centre part I had to really think about it and understand it. But it's coming on really lovely, and it's a joy to make. So hopefully next time I'll finish that, depending on when I next do a video. It's been a while, hasn't it? February, there was like a chunk of February that had just vanished, because I went up to Middlesbrough to attend 2 family funerals from each side of the family. Now, if it was, my mum, when I was leaving, she walked to the train station with me. She came to the train station with me. We got the bus into town, and we spotted someone I used to work with. And the They said, oh, you're back up here? And I said, oh, only for a short while. I'm actually going back home now. And I said, I've been to 2 family funerals. I said, my mum's brother-in-law and my dad's sister. And then later on, my mum asked, why did you say it like that? Why didn't you just say your auntie and your uncle? Well, the thing is, if I say auntie and uncle in one sentence, people assume they're married, first off. Yeah? But also, saying my mum's brother-in-law and then my dad's sister, it adequately places them on each side of the family where they belong. Because if it had just said my uncle, well, which side of the family? But then I said my dad's sister, so where does this uncle fit in? So my mum's brother-in-law could be either her sister's husband, which it was in this case, or my dad's brother. But my dad's brother is no longer alive, so it's not him. You know what I mean? So that's why I had to explain that to her. I thought I explained it in the most efficient way possible, with fewer words as possible. And how long have I spent explaining this right now? Anyway, yeah, so I went up to Middlesbrough for 2 funerals. Although, Monday, Friday, yeah, my uncle, my mum's brother-in-law, died on the Monday, and my auntie, my dad's sister, died on the Friday. But the funerals were 1 day apart. But I had planned to have a train project because I had that crochet rib scarf. I mentioned it last video. I'm always tempted to say last lesson, and I'm almost always say last episode. I'm not a TV company. I don't do episodes, but then again, it is, isn't it? Whatever. Last video, I did do a couple of rows of that crochet rib scarf, but I didn't really get into it as much as I was knitting socks. I thought, oh, I know, I knit a sock. I'll start a sock off so I can do a sock on the journey. Well, I got carried away, didn't I? And I ended up turning the heel in the sock. I thought, right, okay, so I did. In the sock, I ended up doing just the foot part on the train. And I practically finished it as soon as I got... All I needed to do was the toe part when I got to my mum's house. And then I started on the other one quite deliberately, just the day after while I was still there. And I did most of that while I was there. So I finished a pair of socks, that's for me. Now, note that. There's a reason why I'm saying not the knit 2 pelter rib. Well, this yarn was Katia Riff, I think, 150 grams, and I didn't realise it was 6 ply, which meant it was thicker, but I still did it on 2.5mm needles. They're going to be so warm. I thought, oh, there's enough yarn here to make another pair, and I've made my mum a pair, and I'm going to send them up for her birthday, and here they are. I've blocked hers, but I haven't blocked mine yet. So here's my mum's. Knit 1 purl 1 rib. That's how I can tell they're hers, because I totally forgot to do knit 2 purl 2 rib. But there you go. So they're going to be on the way up there. They smell so nice. I use the Eucalan Rapture. And you know, I love this style of sock because they end up fitting really easier on the heel. And my son loves them, so I can't wait to make him a pair. I want to show you something else I made while I was there, but I haven't got it now because I gave it to one of the ladies at Knit and Natter for the charities. But I have made another pair since the next size up, and that's a pair of booties. Aren't they sweet? So the pair that I gave to the ladies at Knit and Natter, they were the first size, not 3 months, and these are 3 to 6 months, I think. So I'll be sending them off to Knit and Natter. Such a simple pattern. Shoot Pleasant Seas on YouTube. I'll have to look at that and look in the description. Oh, that's what I was going to do a video last month, and I didn't. I thought, oh, I'll wait till I finish these socks, my mum's socks, before I do the video. And I must remember to insert it in here. So I'm saying this now to remind myself. I knitted my youngest brother a hat, and I sent it up. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to insert the clip of the video in here where I was showing him the hat on Jack, but I will take the volume out because I was addressing him, and I did send it through WhatsApp. So I shall do that, and at least you'll be able to see it anyway. So it's a lovely hat. I think it's called Ribs and Cables. free pattern, and I can't remember who wrote it. And so this is terrible. I'm getting so bad. I have to go and look. I do have a list in front of me what I'm going to talk about, but I didn't this time write the extras, the designers and stuff. I don't know what's the matter with me. I'm so out of touch. Remember I used to do a video every Tuesday? How on earth did I manage that? Anyway, another thing let me just check, I'm sorry. Okay, I've got here a blanket I'm working on. It's a crochet blanket. I'm on the 4th skein already, I think. Yeah, 4th skein. Now this pattern will be familiar because I've done it before, but only on a scarf. So I know you won't be able to see all of it, and that's my stitch marker scraping along there, I think. Okay. So it's 30 something inches, I can't quite remember. That's terrible. No, that's not my, stay out of the way, you. Right. Okay. It's 30 something inches across, 32. It was meant to be 30, but because I did the chain first. No, I didn't. I did a foundation single crochet first, I think. I can't remember what I did. That's terrible. Whatever it says in the pattern, I did that. And the pattern is the Urban Shells scarf pattern. Now I do remember that. And as soon as I saw that pattern, I thought, that would also make a nice blanket. So you can make it as wide as you want, just in multiples of 5. So that's what I did. And I thought it was going to be 30 inches across, but it ended up being a tiny bit more. So I'm going to make it 30 inches in length, so it's like a squarish. Oh, they're about the same. But I've got plenty of yarn because I've got the rest of it on here. And I've got another skein of it in the box there. But I think I'll have enough for the blanket and maybe something else as well. But this one, I don't like the way that goes on there. I'll put that down so I can concentrate. What am I like? This blanket, that's what I was saying. This blanket is going for my cousin had a baby. And when we went to the first funeral in Middlesbrough, it was my mum's brother-in-law. My cousin took her mum, because her mum's in a wheelchair. So she took her mum. My cousin was pregnant at the time, and she was due on the 23rd of March, but she had to have the baby early, 3 weeks early. So I thought, oh, that's a deadline I've missed there. And I think if she was still going to be born on the baby, it's a girl, by the way. If she was still going to be born on the 23rd of March, I might have actually been able to make it in time. But then the deadline had passed now, and so I haven't rushed then. What am I like? So never mind. So it's still ongoing, and it won't be long before it's finished, and then I can send it off. My cousin doesn't even know she's getting this, so that'd be a nice surprise, won't it? So that was it. Let me check that I've done everything. Talked about that square. I talked about the progress on the Jana shawl, if I'm pronouncing that correctly. I talked about the booties and the 2 pairs of socks, one for me, one for my mum, and the crochet blanket, and I think that's it. Hey, I did good, didn't I? How many minutes is that? Just under 15 minutes, but there's going to be a bit of editing, no doubt. And there's going to be an insertion of what I sent my youngest brother, so you can see that gorgeous hat. Let me tell you a bit more about the hat before I can go on. It's Debbie Bliss Aran. That's the name of the yarn I used. So it's got merino wool, cashmere, and I think there's is it acrylic or polyamide? I'll have to check that, and I will put that in the description box. But that was it. And I don't even know how we got talking about hats. Probably because, I don't know, because I noticed he had less hair than... No, it wasn't. He just has been having less hair these last few years anyway. Choice. He's not bald, it is by choice. But he said, you'll have to knit me hat to keep me head warm. Me fat head warm, he said. I'm sure he said fat head. But anyway, his hat fits him. He sent me a lovely picture of himself. So that was really nice. And he did say white or black, and I thought, black. But as I was doing the pattern, I realised I could have actually done black after all. It wasn't that hard to do. The only time I found it hard doing black, there's only been 2 occasions. One is crochet, and it doesn't matter what I'm doing, it is hard to see things in black. And the other one, I'd made this penguin. Now, had it been stockinette stitch, it would have been absolutely fine, but it was double moss stitch or moss stitch, whichever the one, I'm not sure which one it was, but it was a moss stitch. Let's just go with that, eh? It was a moss stitch, and there was decreases as well. Now, I would have been fine with moss stitch, I would have been fine with stockinette, but having a moss stitch and decreases in black, I couldn't do it. I had to write it, I had to plot it out on a graph so I could see what stitch I was doing where. Yeah, that was challenging. And it was a simple thing at the same time. But had it been in a different colour, I would have been fine. I would have been able to see the yarn better. Well, anyway, that is all I've got to show you this time. So I shall leave it here, and hopefully next time I'll be able to show you progress on my husband's socks. I've only just started, and I've only done about 3 ribbed rows. So it'd be nice to show you something definitive next time. All right, everyone. It was nice to chat with you again. Take care, everyone. Bye-bye.